So for this video, I want basically your exercise is gonna be to make the board, the maze yani, its own class. I don't want you to just have sprite maze rows and columns. I want it to be enclosed in its own like class. To get you prepared for this exercise, we have to do the very necessary task of making the player its own class, not a sprite file. We're gonna change all of this code because this is horribly designed, and in the project I believe you're required to have things as classes, which you have to do. But before we do that, I want to just add a little thing here في الميز, just for fun. What if I didn't have bricks enclosing everything? Like imagine if I had if this was actually a piece of grass here, then my player would actually end up moving all the way up. Let me show you. Let's change the text file and make this grass. I want you to see what will happen. Okay. It just went up. I don't want that. So what do? Remember Zaman when we did our cat and mouse, I think, the first assignment? We checked on the boundaries. If I'm moving up, I also have to make sure that my position that I'm about to move up in is greater than 0. It's not negative. And so on. And if I'm moving down, I have to make sure if I'm moving up, I have to make sure my row is greater than 0. And if I'm moving down, I have to make sure it's less than the total number of rows, which is 7. If I'm moving right, I have to make sure my position is always less than the total number of columns, which is 7. And if I'm moving left, I have to make sure my position, or my j, yes, my j, if I'm moving left, I have to make sure that j is greater than 0. But let's just add those cases here into the if statements. But if I'm moving left, this has to happen, and my player j -1 has to be, okay, let's think about this again. If I'm moving left, then j has to be greater than 0. So, and if I'm moving right, then player j has to be less than the number of columns, cols -1. If I'm moving up, player I, my rows, if I'm going up, my rows are decreasing, but they have to be greater than 0. Player I greater than 0. And if I'm moving down, it's the opposite of a player I is less than rows -1. Let's try that. Okay, I shouldn't be able to go perfect. But now, just in case, like, you design your maze, and remember in your Pac-Man game, there's portals. That المفروض in the behavior of Pac-Man is if you go up to a portal, your position, you actually can, but you get transported to a new position. So like your move function will have a different behavior. Think about that. فبس. Let's start transforming this to classes. Okay, I want my player to be a class. I'm gonna just start by, like, actually I'm gonna make this its own video.